Microsoft unveiled a whole new lineup of devices Tuesday. Ho-hum. Okay, Microsoft's first ever laptop, 2 new Lumia smartphones, another updated tablet. I mean, isn't this the usual? Aren't we always talking about this? But what we're buzzing about most has got to be the new holographic headset. Nick Thompson, CBS News contributor and editor at thenewyorker.com, joins us now. Everyone here is talking about the HoloLens, this thing that, well, I don't know, you're the expert. You tell me, what's the big deal about this?
So the HoloLens is a device that you put over your head. It's called mixed reality. It's like virtual reality, and what it does is it puts little holograms in front of you. So suddenly you're able to interact with what looks like matter, and it's actually just light. So the demonstration we saw today at the Microsoft event was somebody who put this on his head and sort of walked around like this. But what he was seeing were robots attacking him. It was a way of making a video game real. It's a way of making an environment around you totally immersive.
It might be very helpful for people who design dresses or products or the like, right?
Right. It could be helpful in thousands and thousands of ways. We could be using them all the time, or they could just be incredibly annoying. And
can you imagine what it would do for porn?
Well, I think a lot of people are working on that. I mean, that happens in tech all the time, right? Innovations happen in porn first, and then they spread to other industries.
Speaking of porn, you said that when they announced what I said was ho-hum, this new laptop, there was a, how did you phrase that?
I described it as a collective orgasm. I mean, the crowd was just enraptured by the presentation, right? Microsoft has
of a laptop?
So Microsoft has never been great at hardware, and this was Microsoft's best hardware presentation by a mile from what I've seen. And what they did is they structured it very well. They've learned a lot from Apple. They said, oh, we have a new laptop. Everyone said, oh, clap, 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 a new laptop. And they said, oh, and look, you can take the top off. And the crowd went nuts. It was good theater. I mean, this is a crowd of tech geeks. This is not like 250 random people selected off the street. It was very exciting for everybody who was there.
I am a cynical journalist. What makes that different than the tablet and the keyboard that interact? You could pull it off. I mean, it's not new. It's not a new concept.
Right. So the concept of obviously laptops, and the whole point of a Surface tablet, right, which is Microsoft's flagship tablet, which has actually been selling quite well, is that you add a keyboard to a tablet. People like it. It adds business. What you do with the laptop is you have a whole bunch more power in there. You have a power of a laptop, not just of a tablet. And then you also have the flexibility of a tablet. So it's adding a bunch more things onto a very powerful device.
Okay, so here's the burning question. Does this now make Microsoft cool again?
Well, that's actually kind of, yeah. I mean, the weirdest thing about tech in the last few months, Apple had an event where they kind of seemed to be copying everyone else, and they seemed a little less cool. Now, Microsoft, with its new CEO, seems a little bit more cool. So Microsoft's not as cool as Apple, but it's getting cooler.
Hey, then there's hope for AOL, too. Okay, let's talk about, speaking of Apple, the new movie, Steve Jobs, had its premiere over the weekend. Already, though, getting a lot of backlash from people who think that they knew Steve Jobs and they don't like the fact that, you know, it's sort of like, hey, don't speak ill of the dead. They don't like the light he's cast in.
I know. So people who love Steve Jobs think that the movie is, you know, not appropriately appreciative. And they said the same thing about the Alex Gibney film, which was actually, you know, quite tough on him. I mean, this is just people who love the guy who don't want a word of criticism of it. I think it's absolutely fair to have some criticism. He was a complicated guy. A lot of people hated him. I mean, look, he's an absolute genius. He's getting a movie made about him. That's a sign that everybody respects that he's a genius. There's no doubting that. And it's okay to show this and that.
Okay, finally, I've got to ask you about this city in California that is doing something new. It's a robot car, driverless shuttles that are going to zip employees around this Northern California campus, a park next summer.
Yeah.
I mean, is this really the wave of the future? Because after all, it happens on tramways and air trains and things like that, but they're on a track.
Yeah, we're getting to the point where we have robot cars everywhere. I think that's going to be great. I'm very excited for it. I look forward to it. Of course, it's going to start now. It's not going to start on public roads. It's going to start in parking lots and shuttles, and it's going to be contained. But we're going to get there in 10, 15 years, and this is another step in that direction. And Contessa, I think that's wonderful.
Nick Thompson, thank you so much. I wish I'd been there as part of the crowd that was
very excited and enthusiastic, I believe is the proper phrase.
Thanks, Nick.